Every year, NFL teams invest millions of dollars, thousands of hours, and entire scouting departments into one goal: finding the next superstar. They keep drafting busts. Yes, 46% of Hall of Fame players were first-round picks, but that leaves 54% who weren't. So how do you explain this guy going before this legend? Why do franchises, including your team, keep making the same mistakes year after year? Let's unravel how and why the NFL draft goes wrong, even with all the tools to get it right. Chapter 1, the pre-draft process. Once the Super Bowl ends and a champion is crowned, the focus shifts. A new NFL league year begins, with new heroes and villains waiting to be discovered. Free agency hits first. Teams scramble to fix rosters by bringing in proven talent. While that chaos unfolds, college prospects head to all-star games like the Senior Bowl or East-West Shrine Game, a critical first impression. These practices and scrimmages mimic NFL conditions. Scouts get a live look at how well a player competes, how prepared they are, and what strengths show up under pressure. Players can shoot up draft boards with a strong performance or fall off entirely. Next comes the NFL Scouting Combine, the Underwear Olympics, a media spectacle where 40-yard dashes and shuttle runs can make or break a prospect's stock.
So with each player, height, weight, speed, school, and then for some players, there are special tags.
It's part physical testing, part mental evals, and part interviews. For some players, it's just checking boxes. For others, it's life-changing. Teams often fall in love with height, weight, speed, the raw measurables, and sometimes completely forget the tape. That's where mistakes start to creep in. After that, pro days. These are workouts hosted by colleges, with players back in their comfort zone. It's a last shot to fix a slow 40 time or show improved footwork. Some players only thrive in familiar territory, which can be misleading. Finally, teams conduct top 30 visits, official invites where prospects spend a day inside a team's facility. They watch film, talk ball, meet coaches and execs, and maybe even go out for dinner. Sometimes these visits are genuine. Sometimes they're smoke screens teams use to throw off competitors, creating panic that leads to trades, reaches, or blown picks. All of these moments make up the pre-draft process, a puzzle piece of promises and deception. But after all of that, busts still happen. Why? Because talent isn't the one thing being evaluated. It's projections, it's fits, it's bias, and it only gets messier from there. Chapter 2, the board.
And let's understand that every board in the league, the other 32 teams, they're all different.
Every team creates a draft board, a living, breathing ranking system of prospects. It's organized by position, talent grade, and scheme fit. But here's the thing. No two boards are alike. Some teams prioritize athleticism. Others prioritize production.
Never quite know, because 31 other teams have boards that look different than ours.
Some want high floor guys. Others just chase upside. You'd think with all the scouting, testing, and interviews, these boards would be rock solid and lead to safer picks. But instead, they reveal just how subjective the entire process is. Scouting departments, head coaches, GMs, and owners all have different values.
Your general manager and your head coach, you almost kind of got to be thinking through the same prism so that your roster matches the scheme and the principles that you want to coach by. That's a constant communication process with the head coach.
And when draft day comes, those differences collide. The board is supposed to be the map, but more often than not, it's a battleground. Chapter 3, Draft Day. This is where it all unravels. On draft day, even the most prepared teams get shaken. Emotions run high, pressure builds, and every decision is magnified. If you get a top 10 pick, expectations are massive. Everyone from the GM to the owner wants to have their say.
Clear vision of what the team looks like and what a roster wants to look like.
Sometimes that means abandoning the board altogether. Other times that means taking a player for the wrong reasons. There are internal politics, coaching staffs wanting one type of player, front offices wanting another, and you end up with great players in terrible systems for their skill set, underdeveloped players thrust into spotlight way too soon, projects being taken too high, or elite talent falling, all because of the simple parts of the process. The draft becomes less about finding the right player and more about selling a vision. That's where busts are born, not on the field, but in the boardrooms. Chapter 4, missing the flags. Red flags aren't always hidden. Sometimes they're blinking neon signs, legal troubles, medical history, work ethic,
and then you have players who have a medical question.
personality concerns. These are the things teams do uncover during the draft process, and yet they're often ignored. Some players are upfront about their past, others hide it well. Either way, if your scouting department is doing its job, you should know what you're walking into. But here's the problem. Teams convince themselves they can fix a player, or they're so desperate for talent, they'll roll the dice. And when it blows up, everyone acts surprised, even though the warning signs were there the whole time. Sometimes drafting a bust isn't about missing something, it's about choosing to ignore it. So, why do NFL teams draft busts? Because the draft isn't a science, it's educated guessing, mixed with ego, pressure, politics, and hope. Sure, you might find a superstar in round 1, but you might find him in round 5, or after the draft entirely. There are 22 Hall of Fame players who went undrafted, never selected. That's a shocking truth. The NFL draft is a calculated roll of the dice. And even with all the preparation in the world, 70% of the process comes down to luck and fit. From the number 1 overall pick to Mr. Irrelevant, every selection is boom or bust. If you want to dive deeper into how teams mess up both the draft and free agency, check out this video above. And I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Peace.